Welcome to the Short Funk Podcast. I'm Tom Barbalet, and today, well, maybe it's a good idea to promote Short Funk. After many months, no, that's not true, scratch that. After a few weeks of waiting, my wife has designed the Short Funk logo. And a little background history on the Short Funk logo, it's actually an homage to Field of Chaos. The image of, well, let's just call him Tom, lying back listening to something is from the Field of Chaos comic book project that occurred maybe a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago now. The defunct Field of Chaos comic book project, let's call it what it was. And from this came maybe a dozen or so pieces of artwork that I thought, well, I can probably use them for another project, including this one. With the Short Funk logo now official, the next step is actually promoting the podcast. There are a number of ways folks can promote the podcast, and I'd like to call out here Peter Burr, our long-standing revolutionary listener, somewhere in deep, dark Tennessee. I believe that's where he resides. Peter Burr decided to click on the like button. Yes, there's a Facebook like associated with iTunes for Short Funk. If you are listening to Short Funk currently and you would like to promote the podcast to other folks, aside from posting to the Short Funk Facebook group, which really just is self-aggrandizing your own intellectual potential, please consider writing a review on iTunes. Now, normally in these circumstances, I would have something to give away for an iTunes review. What I might do is just pluck some books or magazines from the Barbalet Library and send them on to lucky listeners who write reviews on iTunes. Because in order for folks to listen to this particular podcast, they will need to see reviews on iTunes, because that kind of bumps up the whole iTunes, should we show people? Yes, there's a group of people that actually like this. So, as you invest your time listening to Short Funk, please consider writing an iTunes review, because these iTunes reviews actually motivate folks listening in. It's no secret one of my greatest successes in podcasting is a little show called Model Rail Radio, and I think, in large part, the early and heavy reviews on iTunes enabled Model Rail Radio to climb up whatever iTunes ranking there was, and make sure that Model Rail Radio would be, top in the searches associated with the model railroading hobby. The same could happen with Short Funk. All it requires is iTunes reviews. So as you listen to Short Funk, as you enjoy Short Funk on a daily basis, please consider writing an iTunes review to encourage other folks to come and listen to Short Funk. Tom Barbalet in San Jose, signing out.